Okay. That should be live everywhere. Woo! Actually thought I would be back just a little earlier. Whoa, where am I hearing myself? Should be live everywhere. Oh. Okay, there we go. That. Oh, okay. Hope that doesn't permanently do that. I'll have to close that out. Hello, mister. Hello, Anthony. Slayer Princess. Benjamin. Rhonda. The Lulu. Who else we got here? Wigs fan. Avigan. All these people. Hello, everyone. Ooh, we're going to get this going. I'd love to see. I want to see how she's going to actually. I didn't think she was actually going to tie the French up into this, but I'm willing to bet that she somehow thinks that this Macron lawsuit is somehow trying to silence her from figuring out what really happened to Charlie Kirk. If she goes with that, I'm just going to label her as just absolutely crazy at this point. Like, actual crazy. We got some funny stuff to go over. Candace got clowned on pretty badly. Pretty badly last night. She got a fake tip, and this is pretty embarrassing. And then I also have to talk about this copyright strikes, because Candace is complaining about a copyright strike that came in from the country artist for playing her music, and I'm here to tell Candace, sorry, that's just, she didn't do that. It's the music industry that did that, and you could even see it in her thing. It's not even, you know. I'll find out. I'll see if she owns it. Let's see. Oops, I'm gonna turn my, there we go, air conditioner down. It's hot in here. Okay. Let me see here. So let's start off with, I'll just start off with the music. So let's see, the Orchid music. Let's see who owns that. I would be very, very interested. Here, let me pull up. Oh my God. Curtis, that's so much money. Thank you. Did you mean to hit 50 or did you mean to hit 5? Oh my God, thank you so much. Don't scare me like that, guys. That's crazy. Man, seriously, thank you so much. Man, Curtis, you're just amazing. But anyway, you said, oh Christ, what the F is wrong with that woman? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Like, it's, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy situation. Let me see the, was it the Orchid Company? Orchid Music. The Orchid Music. Who owns the, oh no. Music. That is right. Or no, oh, it's Orchard, not Orchid. What was I thinking? I completely misread that. Orchard Music. Sony Music Entertainment. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. It's debunked instantly. Sony copyright claimed Candace Owens. Sony copyright claimed Candace Owens. Okay? I got copyright claimed on Candace Owens' video for Kanye West's song, the 4-second song in the beginning. Kanye West can claim the whole video. I had to cut the song out. That's what I had to do. Candace, unless you want to sue him, you're going to have to do the same thing. And I would actually back her if she sued him, because I think this is garbage. You should be allowed to play music and react to it. It's no different than any other version of content. It's completely ridiculous. As long as you do it with fair use. You know? If you're sitting there playing the whole song, that's completely ridiculous. If it's background music, you should absolutely be allowed to do that. At that point, you are advertising their song because it's not about the song. Nobody came there for the song. They came there for the video. The background music is just something to be like, hey, if you like this band behind me, I could, you know, link you to them. At that point, it's advertisement because people kind of hear it, but kind of not. Music listening party. If you're making pauses in between the music, totally fair use. No one's sitting there listening to it for free like that. They're breaking it down. And that's a problem with, like, cover channels and stuff. Like, I could probably pull up, good example. Obviously, I can't make any money off this. Is You know, it is what it is. At least they're allowing me to do it. But, let's see. At least they allow me to do this. My, video here, where I do a, guitar cover. John Petrucci solo from, Dream Theater's The Spirit Carries On. Great song. Great song. Enjoy it. I do a cover here. And, you know, it's one of those situations where they take the whole thing. And I mean, it's me doing it, but it is their song. I get it. But it's a small snippet as well. But I understand me not being able to make money on it. But if they wanted to, they have the power to not share this video at all. They could just cut it. Copyright strike completely. Some companies are friendlier than others. Bands like John Petrucci's band, you know, Dream Theater and all that, they're usually pretty lenient because they really interact with the community. They're very active in the guitar community, actually. Probably the most active people from, like, the 90s and 80s and stuff. Probably the most active people when it comes to the guitar community in general. It's pretty awesome. And so they're not going to copyright claim you. But some companies will. Sony Entertainment will. And that's what happened to Candace here. That's exactly what happened. Copyright claim by The Orchard Music. Literally owned by Sony. It's not owned at all by Alyssa Wilkins. It's not her. It's kind of sad that Candace is taking it out on her, on Kash Patel's girlfriend like that. This is Kash Patel's girlfriend, right? I think. Is she? Let's see. Country Music, NRA board. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is her. Pretty sure. She earned a follow. I'm not a big fan of country music myself. It's not my thing. I'm a metal guy. I like folk metal. I like big orchestrated music. I like classical music. I'm a big fan of all those avenues. You know, John Williams, Nobuo Uematsu, those kind of people, you know, in general. Just amazing composers. Modern day composers. I like the classics too. Genuinely, you know. Vivaldi, Paganini, those people. Very good stuff. Four Seasons. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's just the kind of music I really like. But at the end of the day, I totally understand. These companies are out of control, Candace. And it's just...
What did we get?
When was this?
And she hit us with a strike on YouTube. It wasn't a strike. We got a... What did we get? I don't want to mischaracterize it. A copyright claim for her sensational music. And so we might have to trim out that sensational song from the Tim Dillon clip that we showed of him listening to it. So...
Oh, no, you have to clip it out. Oh, whatever will you do? That sucks because, you know, you did it. You did it to me, technically. Candace, this was your great video in Airplane Stalk Charlie Kirk. Is Candace Owens going crazy? This is not a copyright strike. It does not affect your channel. However, they take all the revenue. All of it. So I had to clip it out. That's what I had to do. So here's the thing. Copyright claim. After reviewing your dispute, the Orchard Music has decided their copyright claim is still valid. Yeah. That sucks, Candace. I had to clip it out. I don't have the money to fight this. You probably do. You go fight it. But it's not with her. Literally, Sony Music Entertainment owns The Orchard, a music distribution company founded in 1997. Tough, Candace. Get over it. You know, that's the way it is. I mean, don't necessarily get over it. I'm not saying it's right, but don't blame people that aren't involved. You are too notorious for doing that, Candace. You always blame people you don't like rather than the people who actually did it. And that's kind of the big problem that I have. Let me pull the Kickstream out in the Rumble chat just to make sure that, you know, people aren't. Oh, wait. No, wrong chat. Wrong thingy. My bad. This one here. Ooh, I'm going to have to get my dog. He is barking up a storm. Let's see. There we go. Get this. That's muted. Cool. Okay, live chat's open. Alrighty, guys. I got you all pulled up now. Ooh, let's see. How are you guys doing here? Hans and John. Oh, yeah. Hans Zimmer and John Williams. Absolutely. Anytime, any day. Danny Elfman. You know, I didn't know this. Danny Elfman is actually the keyboard player and the vocalist for Oingo Boingo. You guys know that? Crazy. Crazy stuff. Yeah, Michael Carmen. Oh, Michael Carmen was amazing. I think we found a possible Candy in the chat. Oh, really? Where? You go live while she's live to critique her live? I mean, I don't know, man. I go live every day at 5 p.m. Not every day, Wednesday through Saturday. I mean, that's the time I got available, man. I can't really move that. I gotta work. My wife has to work. We got kids. Just the way it is, man. You know, life. No way around it. So I just gotta, you know, take the time when I got the time. I'll be right back. I gotta get my dog real quick. Yes, you're a good boy. I know. Go lay down, okay? You're a good boy. Jeez. What? What? Don't jump up. Don't jump up. Hit the keyboard. If you want to jump up on the arm. On the arm. Okay. Your tail's lethal. Go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Go on. I know you play. I gotta do this. I know. Silly dog. Oh man. Anyway, alrighty. Now he's occupied. Let's get right into her, I guess. Or not get into her yet. Actually, yesterday. So she broke this news about the airplanes and whatnot being connected to this town in Wilmington, Delaware. And she, Mr. Jay Witt here. Absolutely amazing. You guys should go follow him. Jay Witt, YouTube. He's probably live now. I'm not sure if he's live now or not. I'll pull him up. He shouted me out a couple of times. He's not live right now, but you guys should go subscribe. He's a good guy. Very good guy. He ended up breaking this news that the nefarious FBI, DEA, and Secret Service office in Wilmington, DE, Delaware, is also the address for her own attorneys. I think Candace got pranked and took the bait. It's very possible. So I, Brian E. Farman, hereby certify on September 26, 2025, a copy of the amended complaint was served via LexisNexis file and serve on the following. So these people here, these are all her attorneys, apparently. 1 Rodney Square. Wow, I just went right for it, didn't I? Great. Rodney Square. It's not my fault. It's North King Road. Okay, so come on. Come on, give me some slack. They were right there, and my eyes shot right from Rodney to King Street there. So don't blame me. Don't look at me. Okay? That was not a Floridian slip there. A Freudian slip. Good, I slipped the L and the R there all the time. Switch them. Anyway, 1 Rodney Square, 920 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Counsel for defendants. Yeah, Brian E. Farnan. I thought it was Farman. Wow, I've been misreading that the whole time. It's much more clear on this page. Yeah, Farnan. Bar number, and then the bar number's covered up by that chatter right there. Crazy. So yeah, Candace, I think she got completely and totally pranked. And here's a picture of the Google Maps, I'm gonna guess. So yeah, I think somebody was pranking Candace and she released some bad info. And I don't think she's gonna correct it. I genuinely don't think she's gonna correct it. Yeah, the Jay Witt podcast, absolutely. Yeah, guys, go there. Go to Jay Witt. He's the one who broke that news. That's crazy awesome. I'll be covering that in a video probably later on too. So let's go ahead, get right on into this, and yeah, crazy. Candace complaining about something that she's done to my channel. I blame her then. It's her fault. Candace copyright strikes me as well. Oh, this is all... Hold on. I didn't realize how much there would be.
All right, you guys, I know that I say that every episode is going to be explosive, but the lies and the intentional misrepresentations that are being delivered by Turning Point USA and their affiliates, they are really reaching a fever pitch, because we can confirm that Brian Harpole lied badly to Sean Ryan, an interview that one of the heads of security gave the other day. And I'm going to explain to you how we know that. I'm starting to think that we should believe that nothing they've told us is real. Plus, I don't think we can reasonably ignore that odd French company in Delaware, now that our source proved to us that it certainly wasn't established to provide any maintenance to those Egyptian planes, and it was more than likely a front for something else.
Oh, yeah, I got the
We should
soul
address
thing.
that. Because I know that many of you guys were wondering whether or not Charlie's
if anyone wants.
assassination was meant to distract us
one's
from
obligated to
the
any of that.
Brigitte Macron investigation. And rightfully so. That is a fair question. Because as you guys know, it was Charlie
Thank you.
Kirk that called me and told me that they wanted me to stop speaking about Brigitte. But the question is always, who is they? Who is they?
She actually linked it. She did it. She literally is linking Bridget Macron to Charlie Kirk. And she's like, it was Charlie that told her. Is that what she said specifically? Just to make sure. She said Charlie Kirk told her to stop talking about Brigitte.
So that is a fair question. Because as you guys know, it was Charlie Kirk that called me and told me that they wanted me to stop speaking about Brigitte.
Okay. There it is, guys. I actually genuinely thought I'm not even kidding. I haven't watched this at all yet. I thought my thumbnail was going to be clickbait. I actually was a little worried that it would be clickbait. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I don't want to do that. But I was like, but I'll take the chance because I don't know what she's going to say. Now I found out, and she's actually just directly connecting it. I thought that was like going to be a low chance. I'm kind of taken aback by it, but I'm glad that it went this way. This is
question is
ridiculous.
always,
At this point, at this point, I genuinely think she is trying to actually distract from what politics are going around now. Because there's no way this is serious. Now freaking France is involved too. Really? Did we need France to be involved to get rid of Charlie Kirk? If one of these people, like if it's the United States that's involved with this, right? And it would show how poor our security is if another country managed to get through and do this and the United States wasn't involved. But if the United States was involved with this, why would they need France? Why would they need Egypt? Why would they need Israel? Why would they even need Ukraine, which she suggested, but then got debunked on that a couple days ago? Why would she need any of that? Why would the United States need any of that? It doesn't make any sense at all. Now every freaking country is going to somehow be implicated in Charlie Kirk's murder. What is she doing? Has she thought about this for 1 second, how this even sounds on paper? You think that she would be a little bit more obsessed with probably getting the facts straight and releasing a ton of bombshell information first? You know, instead of just saying, okay, now I think this. I think France is now involved. Oh my God, I think France is now using, you know, the Queen of France, that's actually the King of France, is using his wiener to do all this. I bet they had to take a gigantic Boeing 747 because she has such a hog on her that, you know, it's going to fly on in. They need a lot of room. And then they came and did this to Charlie. It's like, come on. Candace, you really need to provide in this live stream some insane, like, irrefutable proof that they're behind this to even suggest this.
Is they? Who is they? Welcome back to Candace.
This is insane. Oh, no, can't play that. Can't play that. Nope. That's exactly what I got in trouble for. That's exactly what I got in trouble for. Wait, I lie? Wait, did someone say I lie? You lie, you can't keep those lies straight? Okay, well, hey, look at this. Candace Owens is saying that this Orchid Music Company, who's definitely owned by Sony Entertainment and not the woman she's accusing, Alexis Wilkins, copyright claimed her for playing some of her music when the same exact thing happened to me when I played Candace Owens' music there. I mean, there's that. Candace knows this. She's been doing YouTube for a long time. She's been doing it for a long time, okay? I started right around the same time she did. Except she got super duper famous and has a lot of attorneys and knows a lot more things about YouTube and how it works than I do. Because she likes getting paid by YouTube. So YouTube's going to work with her. Okay, they work with people 100,000 subscribers and up. When you get to that level, that's whenever YouTube actually steps in and gives you a representative and stuff, and you get to work with YouTube a lot more. They inform you about a lot more. If something happens, they explain to you why it happens, instead of it just being automated. She knows this. Candace is full of crap, and she's trying to blame Kash Patel's girlfriend, which is distasteful. I don't even really like or trust Kash Patel, and I could see this and be like, hey, this is really unfair, Candace. Same thing happened to me. I can't fight this. I don't have attorneys to fight that. He gets to take all of the revenue from my video because of that 4-second intro song. I just had to trim it out. And now Candace is complaining about having to trim that out. It's crazy, right?
Okay, I gotta tell you, in those weeks following Charlie's assassination, I didn't feel like myself. I felt like I was honestly having an out-of-body experience. I didn't want to accept things. Obviously, you know, that's the reason that I went away to Wyoming. But with
you were gone for like 6 days, Candace, and then
that we move further from September 10th, I have more clarity, and I'm starting to focus on things that happened in those early days. And
I agree.
Certain things that are playing in my mind over and over again. I would say that happened in the first 72 hours following Charlie's assassination. I was in a state of trauma, and not for a single second during that state of trauma did I believe that Turning Point USA would later be involved in what seems like a cover-up, right? It seems like if you have to lie.
Again, pointing the finger at TPUSA, saying that they're covered up. But hey, here's the thing, you know, Candace, again, Erica's the CEO. She would have known about the succession. She would have known as to who's supposed to move up where, according to Charlie. I think Charlie would have told her. And you're implicating Erica again here by saying that.
It's because you're covering up the truth. Duh. And like I said,
yeah, that's what I just went over. She hasn't realized that yet.
All of us,
I'm going to see if she
come together
does in this episode. It'll be
and
funny.
try to figure out.
I'll pull it up again here soon
because the Tyler Robinson story wasn't making any sense.
Hey,
well, I want to tell you guys this. There's another phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett where I was crying on the phone with him. I mean, I am talking maybe 72 hours max after Charlie was killed, and he was also upset on the phone. But he said something, and it's hitting differently the more that I think about it. He said, and I quote,
twist this one.
"Candace, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you.
It's always you, isn't it? You're the chosen one. All hail. All hail. Anakin Darkwalker." Wait.
Now, at the time, I dismissed this as some sort of bargaining, right? That's an actual stage of grief. You do bargain.
She's more of a Sith anyway. It doesn't matter. What would it be? Palpatine? I don't know. I can't come up with a good one. You guys come up with funny stuff.
You
I'm
wish
not that funny.
that it was this person. You betrayed it. Maybe you wish that it was yourself. And to be honest, I did go through that phase of bargaining with Charlie. Like, why didn't it happen to somebody else? This is a good person who had his whole life ahead of him. I mean, I told you that even my father went through that stage of grief. My father was like, this makes me feel terrible because Charlie has lived his life so admirably, and like I've had
oh my God, this is so like, please don't break an arm, Candace. Like,
so
I know
many
you're
chances
amazing,
in life,
come on,
so many illnesses, and it just makes me so sad.
Hey Ed,
but now I'm feeling a little bit different, removed from the
that,
situation. Like
care,
now,
sure.
I'm going. Was I being? I don't know. Was he being honest? Was Andrew being honest? Was Andrew trying to maybe communicate to me after, especially given the fact that I told you that while the actual day on September 10th, while Charlie was in the hospital, he told me that there was a list.
Hey, thank you, Amber, for being here.
And that me and Tucker Carlson were on it and that we had to lay low, but he never told me who told him that. I never got a call from the feds telling me that. So I feel like these questions I have now are quite valid. Andrew, by the way, was not the only person who called me on that day.
Questions are valid.
And reached out.
All questions are valid, Candace. What's not valid is when you're pointing your finger saying they are engaged in a cover-up with no evidence. That's the problem, Candace. So please stop twisting it going, they really don't like me asking questions. No, I prefer you keep asking questions. That's fine. It's fine. I don't care. Stop pointing the fingers at people. You're pointing the fingers at France. You're pointing the fingers at Ukraine. You were pointing the fingers at Egypt. You're pointing the fingers at Israel. You're pointing the fingers at Trump. You're pointing the fingers at the FBI. You're pointing the fingers at every single person except for the person who actually, like, is on camera with the rifle doing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's every single possible person across the pond except for him. And that's what kind of looks nuts because, you know, they make varmint bullets for 30-06. That won't go all the way through people. It's kind of the point of them. So they, you know, they're varmint bullets. It's very common. They're not going to go through people because they can't even go through a 16-pound dog. Come on. Like, it's just completely ridiculous at this point.
Out to my family.
She's got to know this stuff. She's got to have some expert tell her.
Immediately
30-06 doesn't just shoot one bullet.
To keep our mouths shut, telling us that we should lay low because there was a
Ukraine did get strays. She had to walk it back like 2 days ago that Ukraine wasn't involved anymore because the person that she thought was Ukrainian was actually misidentified. I can't remember exactly specifically who it was that she named, but she walked it back like 2 days ago and just kind of glazed over it. So she was blaming Ukraine. It's no longer blaming Ukraine anymore. It's kind of sad, to be honest, because like her finger pointing's gone out to almost everyone. It's crazy. By the way, if you guys are new here, please subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you guys so much. 177 people in here at once. You guys are amazing.
List going
Just amazing,
around.
guys.
Another person was a very well-known woman who happens to be married to a CIA contractor. Same exact message.
Also, thank you again, Curtis. You're amazing.
And Tucker
Genuinely.
Carlson. But, of course, we cannot tell you who we are getting this information from. I'm starting to realize, as I consider who the sources are and their closeness to the military, and now that we've gotten into the story and realized that virtually everybody there that day has these military ties, that threat may have been coming from the government, actually. That the globalized government that we live under, right, LOL to the idea that we have any national sovereignty, may have wanted me and Tucker to watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us.
You think that they were targeting you the whole time, that Charlie Kirk wasn't the real target. No, no, no. They wanted you and Tucker to see it. It wasn't that they just wanted Charlie taken out. No. Candace, my God, how do you always make it about you? You were the real target, Candace. Oh my God, that's so disrespectful. That's unbelievable. What evidence do you even have to suggest this at all? You are actually going schizophrenic live on... I think she's actually going schizophrenic, guys. I'm not even kidding. She genuinely thinks now the target is just fully on her. She's going insane. Like, this is so hard to watch. It's so much harder to watch knowing... And you guys, obviously, some people are coming in here going, oh, we can't trust this guy. I don't think you all realize that I have absolutely no connection to anybody. I am not connected to the government in any way, shape, or form. I have no external pay whatsoever. Nobody's sending me money at all. My channel's not sponsored or anything. I have you guys doing super chats, and I have YouTube ad revenue. When a video uploads, if it gets a lot of views, it makes money. If it doesn't, tough. Just doesn't. Okay? I've never made any amount of survivable money on YouTube ever. Ever. I work a full-time job. So does my wife. My wife's a nurse. I work in a factory, a charcoal refining factory. That's it. Like, I'm not out here taking any money from anyone. And when I'm watching Candace Owens melt down like this and accuse people like me of being paid $7,000 a post, are you kidding me? I wish I was making that amount of money. That'd be incredible. I'm not making a dime from anybody outside of this channel. So it's so easy to confirm how insane she actually is. And I know a lot of people think I can't prove it. I absolutely could. Anytime, any day. Call me out on it. I'll find a way to prove it to you. You know, it's not that difficult. I won't dox myself, but it's pretty obvious I don't make that kind of money.
Just to know that you would be next if you don't shut up. Like, really, it was supposed to be you. And this new saddest angle is not something that seems subtle to me. When I consider that it was Charlie that called me, it was Charlie that said that they want me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And now I consider saddest, which according to our source, our well-placed source, is a front, somewhere, probably. Right? Suddenly this French company comes in and leases a hangar for only 2 years. Okay.
Over 200 people in the house. Let's go.
Immediately, this becomes a location where our Egyptian military plane is going to land in Wilmington, Delaware, not to get service. We know there was no maintenance happening.
Okay, I don't think she's going to acknowledge it, is she?
Because there was this lack of a lease.
She's not going to acknowledge this. She's not going to acknowledge that this is the same. The address was the same as her lawyer that confirmed those Egyptian planes and all. I don't think she's going to acknowledge that, guys. That's kind of wild. Jay Witt. Again, this gentleman right here, if you guys want to go follow him, I will paste him in the chat here because he's the one who broke the news on this. Absolutely amazing news. He literally broke the news that the address that confirmed that this aircraft was landing in that area for all these government buildings and stuff was actually the address of her attorneys. Brian E. Farnan. The address is right here on this right here. 920 North King Street. Rodney Grill. Rodney Grill. What is there? Is there like a restaurant nearby or something? The Rodney Grill? Or do they just call it that? That's weird. Anyway, I don't know. Could be trolling. The address here was the what was it? Oh yeah, 1 Rodney Square, 920 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Same address, 920 North King Street. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. It's definitely interesting. Not that it proved anything anyway. I don't actually really care that much, to be honest. Because even if it was a lie and she was getting trolled, at the end of the day, she confirmed that a government plane was a government plane. Wow. we really didn't see that coming, Candace.
Since 2021, all of this now feels really interesting. Very interesting. And don't forget that same source claimed that
maybe Tracy.
Our Egyptian plane, tail number SUBTT, landed into this federally monitored hangar, and a foreign dignitary was then discreetly moved to 920 King Street, which we've learned and confirmed houses the DEA, the FBI.
Why'd you have a foreigner at your lawyer's place, Candace? What were you doing in the night that the foreigner landed in your lap there? That's what I'd like to know.
And the Secret Service, quite rare, right?
Is it rare?
Quite rare for the Department of Justice to be coming together with.
How rare?
I mean, that's weird.
Like, actually, how rare? Have we checked that?
Have to do with it, right? What does Tucker Carlson have to do with it? Rationally, when I begin to create a timeline,
I guess so.
Of when my life took a very different turn,
that'd be funny.
It is because I began
it's a Nigerian prince lawyer that she uses. That'd be very funny, actually. She's just like, man, I got this killer deal on the phone here, okay? This guy tells me he's a lawyer and he'll represent us, but we got to fly him in from Egypt. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Narrative on Israel.
That'd be
at
so
the exact
funny.
Same time that I began looking into the Brigitte Macron story. That was in March of 2024.
Don't worry.
It was on March 13th, 2024, that I did the very first ever episode on Brigitte Macron, right?
She's blaming.
Then,
here it is.
Wham,
here it comes.
I am fired
More blaming
within 10 days.
Brigitte
It's a pretty
for
quick
Charlie Kirk's
turnaround.
death.
Charlie, of course, was a staunch defender of mine. Immediately when I got fired, publicly and privately, he held my back, and then suddenly donors start to squeeze him and tell him that I can no longer hit the stage at Turning Point's AmFest. They want me gone from the Turning Point roster, right? I bring my new independent show back in June. And the timeline, actually, when I start to put these things together, is interesting. So we're going to bring that up here because I like timelines. It makes things neat, right?
Okay.
So we are in 2024, right? March 13th, I do that first episode regarding Brigitte Macron. March 19th, just 6 days later, I'm fired from a Daily Wire. I thought it was 10. It's actually 6 days later.
So Ben Shapiro is now working with Brigitte Macron. Is that where we're going to go with this, guys? Anybody want to take any bets? Oh, hey, Art Chick, thank you. Oh, you gotta zap him. That's just the way it is, right? Like, I want to get famous like Hassan. Gotta put him over there and have a zap cam, right? It's the only way to do it. At least I'm learning from, how he does it.
I get fired from a Daily Wire.
I won't
then,
say that,
in mid-November, I begin communicating with Xavier Poussard regarding the potential to interview him.
Yeah, her timeline
during
with
an
planes,
upcoming
I
trip
think, was wrong. Universal time. Yeah, she thought it was Utah time.
London. Xavier Poussard is a person who wrote the Becoming Brigitte book. He has never been sued for defamation. And I was only going to interview him one time because he had never been on camera. And I thought that would be a great get. And I still believe that Brigitte Macron was born a man named Jean-Michel Trogneau.
Okay. That's great that you believe that. So.
On December 3rd, before I interview him.
Did she get so mad at you for pointing out her winky that she pointed it at Charlie and had that happen? Is that where we're going with this? Like, what's the point?
I received the first ever cease and desist letter from Brigitte Macron and her lawyers.
God.
And the funny thing is, I didn't
this.
receive it. They sent it to a really strange inbox that was not monitored, right? This is and this is on December 3rd. Okay. You can see, please see attached the time-sensitive legal.
You mean they got your address wrong? There's another way. They got your address wrong, Candace. It's okay. It happens. It happens sometimes. I've had mail end up at the wrong place before.
Correspondence sent on behalf of our clients,
Am I overreacting?
President Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron. We urge you to provide this correspondence to legal counsel promptly. They sent it to the Club Candace info. I was totally a random box sent it to, so we didn't get it. We go back to our timeline. That's December.
Said the Club Candace info box? Is that what she said? That's probably why. It was probably an accident.
On behalf of our clients, President Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron, we urge you to provide this correspondence to legal counsel promptly. They sent it to the Club Candace info. I was totally a random box sent it to, so we didn't get it.
Totally random box. It was probably just an accident. Oh my God, they have like your name in it. I think they intended for it to go to you. Like, it's an accident, Candace. It happens. It's okay. They sent the mail to the wrong place. Oh my God, it's not the end of the world. What did you think was going to happen? I'm confused.
We go back to our timeline. That's December 3rd.
All right.
And 7 days later is when it's announced that Satis, that's when it's publicly announced that Satis, that French company, has inked a deal in Wilmington, Delaware for a hangar.
Okay.
They're suddenly a French company. The CEO, who knows Emmanuel Macron, we've confirmed that, decides they're going to sign a 2-year lease for an airport hangar to do what? To paint planes. I'm not kidding. Elsewhere in that article, it tells us that it's a French.
Were they planning? Was Brigitte Macron planning 2 years to assassinate Charlie Kirk?
Multinational company.
What is this?
That specializes in the painting of aircrafts. And they plan to open for business in a hangar not far from Wilmington Airport come the new year. So in 2025, this is going to be their hangar. Okay, interesting. Back to our timeline. That is publicly announced on December 10th. And
I think she's getting pranked. That or she's actually losing her freaking mind. I don't know which one it is yet. But guys, if you all are new here, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you all so much. You guys are amazing. I have to thank you for being here.
Then on December 18th, Tom Clare sends another follow-up email regarding the cease and desist.
Yeah, they planned this.
And again, I don't receive
case
it because he's sending it to this random box. I am forever thinking in my brain now.
Yeah, I agree, Static. It is a bad look.
What if I had received it? I would have been spooked. I would have thought that they were monitoring communications between me and Xavier Poussard, the obvious answer. Because I had
what if they sent it to the person they intended to? That would have been worse for you? Somehow? How are you spinning this one like that? That's wild.
Been speaking about Brigitte Macron on my podcast.
Okay.
So what was up with the cease and desist? I think my suspicion is they knew that I was moving to interview Xavier Poussard, which I then did. As you can see on the timeline, on December 21st, I interview Xavier Poussard in London. We did not release it, right?
Why?
We fast forward. We receive, after he forwards it to our actual attorney, and we receive the communication. And it actually just makes me angry because I'm pregnant. Now we're in 2025.
That's why. Not because it was BS, but because you have like anger issues when you're pregnant. Why would you phrase it like that? That's really funny. I know that's what she intended, but it makes me laugh.
But actually, I'm going to turn this now to an entire season because who are you, French first man, to tell us that we can't speak about the story, which is incredibly interesting. And on January 31st, I release the first episode of Becoming Brigitte. Brigitte season 1 airs. And obviously, this show goes viral.
She should have called it the Peter Files. Come on, that would have been funny. The Peter Files. Brigitte Macron. That'd be amazing.
Because it was a shocking story, an unbelievable story. People worldwide are going, what the heck is going on? It's not what the press told us. It really kind of, it shocks your core that the press could be in on telling a lie this big. And then on February 17th.
Come on. A lie this big. Is it that big, Candace? How do you know?
We premiere my sit down with Xavier Poussard.
Oh, thank you, Wicked.
Jumping back into this timeline.
George needs to open a window in the padded room. I agree.
That's
I absolutely agree.
That email comes that we premiere that sit down interview with Xavier Poussard.
Poor guys probably.
A couple of days later, on February 24th, Charlie Kirk reaches out and he tells me that the White House is asking me to stop speaking about Brigitte.
Okay.
And he tells me that it is related to the peace deal in Ukraine.
Hold on. I missed that. Did she say somebody told her the White House did, or did she say the White House told her?
Timeline. That's on the 17th that email comes, that we premiere that sit-down interview with Xavier Poussard. And a couple of days later, on February 24th, Charlie Kirk reaches out and he tells me that the White House is asking me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And he tells me that it is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. That is ostensibly the reason on this same day, February 24th.
Is there any, has she shown, I have not seen any text messages to corroborate this at all. Has she shown, oh my God, shown. I am a moron. I'm twisting over my words too easily. I need to relax a bit. Has she shown, that just sounds silly coming off the tongue like that. Any text messages, though, that corroborated this whatsoever? Like, at all? I would like to see that. Did Charlie Kirk actually, is there proof he said the White House is telling you to stop covering this story? Like, I really want to see those texts, Candace. I need proof. That sounds completely made up to me.
That's how quickly the phone call happened. This is the day that Donald Trump meets
Wait, did she
with
say Trump
Emmanuel
called her?
Macron.
Now she's saying Charlie
by the
told
way,
her?
the text message between me and Charlie. Here we go. Yeah,
Okay,
this
here
is
we
February
go.
24th. I'm showing you guys this now. Hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just the messenger here, but it's important. I say, okay, I'm around. Call me. Then we have the phone call. And then I was like upset about the phone call because I was pregnant. And then
This doesn't prove anything. This doesn't prove me at all. Hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just a messenger, but it's important, but important. Okay. I mean, it's close. How is it her evidence is always this close, but so far? I don't understand. I can't do anything with this, Candace. I can't. I could say it's strange. I could say it's coincidental. I could say it's looking in her favor. I could even give her that. But I can't definitively say, yeah, that's what happened. I don't know what she spoke about with Charlie Kirk on the phone. It could have been something else. The White House could have literally said, hey, whenever you come here to do an interview of any type, I'm sure she has, or maybe she came up there to visit somebody or talk to somebody. Because the thing about it is unfortunately, this is February 2020 or February 24th, but I don't know what year. I have no idea. So I don't know exactly what she was doing on that day, February 24th at all, especially if she released something later. You know, filmed something that day, released it later. I can't corroborate that was on February 24th. I don't know if she was just visiting the White House or getting to talk to a politician or if she was getting to meet Trump for the first time or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea what this could possibly be. This could be February 24th, 2018. I don't know. No year on this. And this could also be, like, whatever. It could have been talking about something completely different on the phone. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. How could I ever corroborate that? This is crazy. She's going off the rails.
Then I felt bad. And I was like, okay, let me think about it because I don't want people
It's amazing.
In Russia to be killed because I won't stop speaking about Brigitte if the Ukraine peace deal was at the center of this. And he says, okay. And then I tried to say I will circle back tomorrow, or maybe I said tonight, call if you want to chat at all. And we did. We chatted. The next day, you can see he starts with the White House just asked for your number, FYI. I think POTUS might call you. And that is not what happened. On February 25th, actually, Sergio Gore called me and asked me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And felt more like an...
Any proof? I would really like some proof on that, Candace. It would be nice to get proof that that's what happened. So you guys, he didn't even tell you about it. On the phone call, the other guy told you, the Sergio Gore or whatever his name is called. Okay. But he says stop speaking. I don't know. Maybe he told her, maybe he didn't. I can't verify any of this. How in the world can I verify this? That's crazy.
Order than a request, and I did not respond.
I need more
in
proof,
kind
Candace.
to that.
Sorry.
February 26th, President Donald Trump calls me and asks me to stop speaking about
That
Brigitte.
too from Butt Bear. Hello, Daisy. It's just, yeah. I mean, even if he did tell him stop talking about Brigitte, it is kind of a so what. It doesn't link him to ending Charlie Kirk. They could just be corrupt and be like, hey, we don't want you blowing the lid on this story at all. In fact, she doesn't feel like getting blown at all right now.
Now, Charlie's in the middle of this. Communications are happening between me and Charlie about Brigitte, okay? On July 1st, and
yeah, she did try to make
the series was over, and I said I'll agree to be quiet about this for a while because
but I guess she wasn't brave enough to actually go for it.
No longer relevant, and I don't want like Christian men to be slaughtered in Ukraine because I'm not keeping my mouth shut. Now, on July
Now
1st.
Ukraine's involved again, Candace. Come on. You already walked it back that there's no Ukrainian tie, and now you're going, oh, well, this somehow to still be linked somehow to Ukraine. This is getting out of
Macron
control.
sends another legal threat. On July 18th, this is where things get really interesting. Charlie Kirk hosts Tucker Carlson.
Oh,
at SAS.
Lila Rose, thank you so much.
Right?
Hold on. Notice Charlie Kirk is a new contact, yet Candace claims they are in constant contact. Candace has added dates, but my guess is the text messages were created by Candace Owens. It could be. It very well could be. What do you mean new contact? How do I see that he's a new contact? Let's see. I am at, let's see, I'll say like, it doesn't tell me where I'm at on here. Oh, nice timestamp. Oh, wait. Anyway, 4151 is what I'll say. Negative 4151. Where's the text? Let me pull it back up. How do I see if it's a new contact? Let's see. Oh, new contact name. Update. Yeah, that's weird. That is weird. Why is that there? What is this? What does new contact name mean? Is this normal, guys? Do you guys have iPhone? Okay, so you have an iPhone. You donated $13.99. The fact that it has the .99 means you have an iPhone because they do it that way for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's a weird thing. But thank you so much, Lila, for doing that, by the way. Seriously, thank you. But yeah, no, seriously. So you have an iPhone. Can you tell me exactly why that would be up there like that? Like, what's the significance? And do people just ignore that typically? Or, like, that's really, really weird. Did she make a mistake here? Did Candace make a mistake with this? I gotta know. I'm gonna screenshot this. Actually, hold on. I want to get her face in this so that way it looks better. I'll just get the whole thing. There we go. I gotta know. Did she make a mistake on making this? There's no way, right? She's not that stupid, right? Candace can't be that dumb. I would really hope not. Let's see. So fake. It's not normal to have that. Okay, so she should have had his contact in her phone like that. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna have to check this unless his phone number changed. Okay. So unless he's changing his phone number, but still, you'd think that she would still update his contact info and stuff, right? That I don't know. I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android. I like my flippy phones. They're amazing. Absolutely best phone in the world. I will not I will not switch from that. That phone's amazing, you know? And guess what? $100 more expensive than an iPhone. Android Z Fold 5, like actually any Z Fold, it's only like $100 more. Actually, I think this year they're the same price too. BS. iPhone is not worth the same. Is nowhere near. Should not be worth the same amount as a flip phone, honestly.
Important. I say, okay, I'm around, call me. Then we have the phone call, and I was like upset about the phone call. Macron sends another legal threat.
Man, 296 people in here at once. Thank you, guys.
This is where things get really interesting.
Seriously.
Charlie Kirk hosts
Please
Tucker
like, subscribe,
Carlson
and share.
at SAS. This
Thank
brings
y'all
in the
so
Tucker
much.
element, right?
Tucker,
awesome. He tells Tucker to go max, call out Israel, Jeffrey Epstein, just go max. And guess what? Tucker really did go max. I want to actually play for you this clip of what Tucker said on stage. Take a listen.
He went max in that
The unfairness of it drives you crazy. And it's particularly galling in the case of Jeffrey Epstein and the whole constellation of people around Jeffrey Epstein, all of whom seem to be getting away with scams. And how do you know they're getting away with scams? I'll tell you how, because they're useless and they're rich. So how do you come to...
Wow, that sounds incredibly left-wing. So wait, you just automatically think that somebody that's not necessarily contributing back to society is like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you could quantify that, to be honest. I don't know how you could say they're not contributing. But someone that's just like rich and they're not out in the public, they're quote-unquote useless, so therefore they're scamming. I don't know. I know a lot of guys who own construction companies who are very, very wealthy. Well, I say a lot. 2 guys. But anyway... shout out to Sean, if he's ever watching this. Guy's an awesome killer guitar player. But anyway, those guys are very, 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 very wealthy. Very rich guys. And one of the guys I know was working on the Hard Rock. So, I mean, getting crazy good contracts. Like, actually, like, working on the full, like, outer exterior of the Hard Rock, doing all this crazy stuff. It's wild. It was a huge contract. And, those guys are, you know, useless. Because the guy that's running that construction company, he is the head of it, but I mean, it's not like he's the one laying the brick and mortar. Know what I'm saying? Like, he's not useless, but there are other people outside of that. He could probably sell his company off. and then go invest in stocks. He's still useless at that point? Doesn't do construction at all anymore? Retires? You think he's a rich guy that's useless? And so he's scamming? I don't know about that, because I think that's how a lot of rich people live. They start companies, they sell them off, and then they retire out young. And they're probably not what I would consider to be useless people. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a scam either. But yeah, Tucker's also rich. What does he do? He goes around and speaks. Does he think... I would never... Let's say I get to his level of richness, I would never think I'm that important. But that seems to be something that Candace and Tucker have in common here. And it's sad. I really like Tucker. But, man, to see him come out here and go, all these useless rich guys, they're scamming you. While he's also rich and all he does is just speak to people. I wouldn't call Tucker useless per se. But, man, I would not put him above a lot of the rich people that actually have built companies and sold them off. I don't know. I think they've probably done a lot more. Just, it's all opinions at the end of the day. But wow, what a crazy thing to just come off and say.
To a place
kind of sad,
where some of the least impressive, most useless people who have no actual skills become billionaires. How's that legitimate?
Yeah, I believe it, BB.
And by the way, if you ask this question, at least in Washington, it's like, oh,
Whalen?
yeah, sounds like you're a socialist. Sounds like socialism. Yeah, okay, I'm a socialist now. All right. I was a Qatari agent or a bigot. Now I'm a socialist. Absolutely. All right. Leaving aside my committed socialism.
Well, I'm not saying I like him right this second. I'm watching him go down the drain, you know what I mean? I haven't made my mind up fully on him yet because he hasn't come out and spouted off anything that's just so insane like Candace. He's not at Candace level yet, you know what I mean? But he's going that direction. I'm like, what the heck, man? Like he was so good like 3 or 4 years ago. He was so good. Hearing him talk was great, all that good stuff. And it's just like, it's sad to watch. It's like, oh man, that guy? Really? He's spiraling now? You know what I mean? I'm just kind of coping at the moment. Know what I'm saying? Like, it's someone that you trusted, someone that you like, and then you're just like, oh, man, well, I didn't expect to get, put down by that. You know what I mean? It's just like a blow to the chest. It sucks.
Can you answer the question? How did Bill Ackman get $9 billion? Bill Ackman, a pretty impressive guy. I know Bill Ackman. No.
If he did it.
Bill Ackman's like well-connected.
Wait, is this live? Really? Wait, are you talking about me or them, Candace? Candace just ended her live stream. I was just a little behind it. But, I'm live.
Didn't super aggressive. That's it. And
but yeah,
I
this
think,
guy might have made money in a dirty way, but how are we going to know?
Deserve a fair living like everybody else. But if you're accruing $9 million just because you're willing to do anything, I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot of people willing to do anything for $20, Tucker. I'd say 9 million is probably a little better. Probably a little more worth it. At the end of the day, I know some people who would do some nasty stuff for like $20, man. Come on.
Why we have to pretend that's good? How did Epstein get?
Yeah, you're right, TF. It doesn't make sense.
Gulf Streams. How did he get an island, a massive ranch in New Mexico, the biggest house in New York? Like, what is that? Like, at some point, the basic economics really matter, and they matter because not that it's bad that rich people are getting richer, it's bad that everyone else is getting poorer. And it's especially bad the young people can't afford homes.
Rich people usually do get richer whenever there's economic downturn. Because rich people don't exactly, lose money very easily. They have a lot of stocks. They have a lot of solid goods. They have a lot of ways to maneuver their money before bad things happen. That's just how it happens. And they usually figure out ways to get wealthier because other people are getting less wealthy. So they start buying up stocks of the less wealthy people. And then those stocks jump up in price, and those less wealthy people don't have them anymore. It's all stock market stuff. Like, people really should just stop kind of, doing that stuff a bit. But, it's all sorts of different assets. People have to sell their homes, so richer people buy the homes. They shoot up in price. Look what happened over COVID. It's a huge wealth, transfer of wealth. It's massive. People are literally, their housing prices are going up so much due to everything that happened in COVID that they can't pay the taxes anymore. It's going up too fast. So they have to sell, get a smaller place, and those rich people scoop in. They buy it up. They'll renovate it, and then they're selling it for $500,000 when that house was originally $85,000. It's crazy. So yeah, I can understand why. But that's not necessarily a evil thing that rich people are doing. They're taking advantage of a system that is collapsing. They did this in 2008. They did the exact same thing. We have to be better with our country. We have to not let economic downturns happen. We don't need to be electing people like Joe Biden, who ruined our country for 4 years. That's how you prevent that, you know? I'm not saying all rich people also are not, you know, absolute parasites. They are. A lot of them are. But Tucker's just like going down this whole rabbit hole of Bernie Sanders, eat the rich. And that's weird for me to see.
So Tucker is getting to the heart at there.
Yeah, my
that we
mortgage is
don't
going
live in
up
a
too. It
meritocracy,
sucks.
right? You have people who, because of their bloodlines, are just being handed things, right? Barry Weiss is a perfect example of that. Nobody knows why she is an executive at CBS. She has no objective talent. I will guarantee you everyone around her is smarter than her, and yet CBS picked Barry Weiss. There's a reason for that. There is a reason why people who are talented can be completely shut out, taken out, told that they can't even be in the system. Think about Kanye West, right? Because of what he's saying. And then people who have no talent are suddenly everywhere. Billboards. We're being told this is the most beautiful person, the smartest person. This person has what it takes to have a makeup brand, whatever it is. And they have no...
She doesn't want to go on a rant about music and talent because I will disagree with her so hardcore about what actual talent is. She's looking at people that are slightly more talented. But I look at people who are very gifted at music. And so it's like, no. I won't agree.
That is not something that they would want messaged to
those are probably
Generation Z, generation coming up, who's recognizing that something's not fair.
But again, taking advantage of a system.
That perhaps this whole idea that we live in a meritocracy is one big illusion. Anyways, back to our timeline, right? Tucker Carlson says that, and we then have on July 18th that the request from Turning Point's UVU chapter, which we've not been able to independently verify, but that's what the local news said, that they saw it with their own eyes, but we didn't see it.
Okay.
That's when the request comes in.
You're just now saying that you actually didn't verify if they requested in July? Are you kidding me? Oh, okay, cool, Candace. I'm glad you just now finally told us that part.
For Charlie to
little late
speak at UVU. Very late in the day, never happens this way, okay? Like I told you, they are always working at least a semester behind on requests, but this one's happening quickly. This is really interesting because BTT then comes in from Cairo through Paris and lands in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's the longest stay, actually, that they have in Wilmington, okay?
I'll tell you why it was the longest stay. Brigitte had a really hard time tucking it back in that day, and they had to find bigger pants.
They do this long stay, and that's not in Nebraska. That long stay that I'm referring to is happening in Wilmington. They stay in Wilmington for 6 days, okay?
Was she making out with your lawyer?
That happens to be, from the 20th to the 26th, that happens to be the period that Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron released to the Financial Times that they are suing me in a Delaware court, right? Not saying that Brigitte or
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, unless it's a rich person that started from the ground up, of course. Then those people can probably, you know, tell you that they're just like you. But otherwise, yeah, no. If they were born rich, absolutely not. They're Nepo babies. They're never gonna understand what it's like. Ever. You know what I mean? They're just not. It proves she isn't vetting any of her info. She's just posting random info from her tip line. Yeah, I think so. I would like to see a much better, much more like fancier construed like tip given to her and then her get busted. I don't know if I could come up with anything, but that'd be really funny to do.
Manual are on this plane.
Send her an email.
What I'm saying is that could it have been a dignitary that was on this plane? A French dignitary that was on this plane? All options are possible at this point because guess who owns the hangar? A French company, okay? A French company owns the hangar. So that's interesting. Go back into this timeline and something else happens that's very strange in this constellation.
Maybe they make a special type of like bonding agent for special type of planes or something. I don't know why they're there. Can you at least like investigate that? Like, do you think they just set up shop there for years to assassinate Charlie? Like, is there any evidence of this at all? Like, that's kind of wild. Zio propaganda here. Oh, well, don't be Zio propaganda, please. I'm not interested. Thank you, though. But yeah, it's crazy. So why does, like, I don't know what they're doing, Candace. You could at least, like, find that information out first, maybe? I don't know. Tell us what they're doing there for the most part. It says you said that they were spraying paint, but it could be like a bonding agent, like something special that's like, I don't know, what do you call it? Not copyright, trademarked. Could be a trademark or trademark patent. A patent. That's what I'm looking for. Could be a patented formula that you did, and they were like, hey, in order for you to get this, though, because this is just for our country, maybe if you let us open up shop and, we could work out a deal where we make the money, where we're the only people who can, provide that for you. Happens. I don't know.
Right after that, by the way, I want to show you this. So odd. We were so surprised when we got this. They depart on the 26th from Wilmington, heading back to Cairo. They released it in that period of time that they're suing me. On July 27th, I'm showing you this private communication between our legal team. We were very confused about why this lawsuit was being filed in Delaware. Not putting anything together. I didn't know about Satis, nothing. This is my lawyer, and he says, here's the PDF. It's massive. We're likely.
Where else are they supposed to sue you, though? I don't know. I don't know how that works, Candace. I genuinely don't know. Genuinely don't know. Are they going to come to your hometown? Where are they supposed to sue there? Are they supposed to sue in France? I actually don't know how this works. So I'm going to just not really comment much on this specifically. But, maybe it is because they have their aircraft carrier there. May just be easier for them to land specifically right there. Maybe they have special access to that area because of that hangar. Being that they're, the prime minister and the prime minister's wife. I have no idea how that works, the legalities behind it or anything. Maybe it's weird, maybe it's not. But I wonder if she's going to even show us if it's weird or not.
Likely going to try to file a motion to dismiss to stay the case on the grounds that it's inconvenient to litigate in Delaware because you're in Tennessee. Your company's in Delaware did not defame anyone. The witnesses are in Tennessee. The Macrones are not citizens of Delaware. Thus, there's no connection to Delaware. What are we doing in Delaware? We should dismiss in Delaware and say that they have to file where you are, where they claim
now,
that
if she would have admitted this in her live stream from the beginning, I can understand. When everyone was giving her crap online, she never responded to this. She filed a motion to dismissal when she said she wouldn't. We've been clowning on her for that, and she's been silent. I can actually understand this. Has she not been paying attention to what people have been saying? I can actually understand her going for a dismissal for Delaware and wanting it to come to Tennessee. Why in the world wouldn't she say that? I'm having to pull this out of thin air now and figure it out for myself like that? You know what I mean? Everybody's been showing this. Okay, I'll gladly strike that one off the Candace, mark there. Maybe she's not backing out of the lawsuit for this, But she could have said this from the beginning. If we see them do this and refile it in Tennessee, then I don't know. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
they have been defamed is here.
Has she blamed the Pope yet? No, she won't blame the Pope.
That's so interesting to me
she's
in
Catholic.
retrospect that we didn't understand why this was happening in Delaware.
The Pope's so good that he knew that moments before that was going to happen to Charlie, and he said a prayer right beforehand to try and stop the bullet. That's how good the Pope was. Probably. Or at least it probably came to her in a dream.
Anyways, moving on to August 1st, same week. Tucker Carlson releases an episode
Good night,
with me.
Susie. Thank you for being here.
And what goes viral from that episode is that we are discussing the Brigitte case. Tucker is interested. He's watched the series. He believes that Brigitte Macron was born a male, rather. And that goes viral, okay? It just goes viral, gets more people speaking about it. So you can just, a lot of stuff is happening at this time. Then what we have is in very early August.
It could be. I understand. I understand people trying to get the, I understand people trying to, how would I put it, get the courts in their favor. Tennessee or Delaware. I mean, at the end of the day, I still give her the benefit of the doubt for that, only simply because even if she was like, hey, Delaware's very left-wing, I don't want a left-wing judge involved with this. I can understand that. I can absolutely understand that and respect that. I would never want to be judged by a liberal judge. Ever. I would not wish that upon anybody else either. I don't think anybody else in this chat would probably want to be judged by a liberal judge. I'm guessing you probably, wouldn't want that. So I don't blame her for that either. I could give her a pass on that. It's okay. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care about this lawsuit at all. But I do think it's funny that they're trying to tie them. She's trying to tie these people in with ending Charlie Kirk. That's crazy.
Oh, that's
crazy.
Turning Point is beginning to scout this location for.
Is she incorporated in Delaware for real though?
Is telling them this is not
no way. No way. Is Candace? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out right now. If she's incorporated, that's gonna absolutely just blow the lid off this again. And I'll have to retract it, guys. Is this Owens? Delaware. I think I spelled that right. Yes, Candace Owens' business entity, Candace Owens LLC, is incorporated in Delaware. Okay, never mind, guys. I'm not striking it off the record. Damn it. There's a reason why. Her company is in Delaware. Oh, my God. Okay, guys, never mind. My bad. My bad. Her company's there. I'll when I do the video later on about this whole thing, I'll make sure to include that. That's crazy. And she shouldn't be wanting business tax breaks in Delaware. Agreed. Yep, that's tough for her. That's where her company is. They went and sued her where her company is. That's why Delaware, Candace. You know this. You know damn well. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe, again, catching her in another lie. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, too. Well, thank you guys for sharing that with me and proving that. That's, you guys can't say I tried, or didn't try. I've given her so many freaking bones. I've given her so many chances on here. That's why it gets frustrating when people come in here and they're like, oh, it's a Zionist guy or whatever the crap they want to call me. He's a shill. And I'm just like, I literally play devil's advocate all the time with her. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe Candace is right here. And then I find out, nope, just proven wrong. That sucks. You know, so guys, you know, if you're on Candace's side, please stop trying to accuse me of being, like, against her. I just gave her a bone and got proved wrong. Come on.
Great place for you to host this because
also,
there's no traffic
give me a like and a
control
subscribe.
here.
I think I earned
Turning
it, right?
Point employees insist that it is the best location. Headquarters employees insist that it's the best location. It's Charlie's preferred location. And so it's got to happen from August 5th to the 6th. That's the notorious Hamptons retreat that took place. Charlie himself described it as an intervention, and Bill Ackman disputes that narrative. Seth Dillon disputes that narrative. Bibi Netanyahu offers to take Turning Point to the next level financially.
John, I bet that's a possibility.
Charlie declines that offer. Okay. We fast forward to the 17th. BBT flies again. It does its Nebraska route. Charlie speaking on August 23rd. It again goes through to Wilmington, and it stays one night on August 23rd in Wilmington before heading back to Cairo. On September 3rd, Brigitte Macron is basically opening up its Paris Design Week, and she's photographed with the Minister of Culture. We have that. And then drops off. On the 4th, we have the BTT flight departing from Paris. Now, I'm going to tell you what's really interesting about that September 3rd date that I forgot to mention before we get to December 4th.
What is it?
President Zelensky is in town also, though.
Oh,
Brigitte Macron.
President Zelensky touched tips with Brigitte Macron to go after Charlie Kirk now. That's what they did. They were both like, wee. Come on.
Welcomes President Zelensky into Paris on September 3rd because there is this
Look at that. They're both the same height. Come on. They could just walk right into each other.
I would assume rare. I don't know. But 35
Imagine being smaller than the French president.
To discuss
that sucks.
Ukraine. Securing the security of Ukraine, okay? That's what they're there to do. Brigitte greets him on September 3rd. She also, again, like I said, was with the Minister of Culture. And then we have this flight that leaves from Paris. BTT leaves from Paris.
Candace meant she could
and it's go time,
no proof, right?
This plane is now going to stay for 6 days. And then it's going to go to Wilmington, Delaware. As you guys know, it's going to stay in Wilmington, Delaware.
What do you mean just Delaware?
Before departing on September 11th after Charlie Kirk's assassination. I find this now to be very interesting, okay? Very interesting as to whether or not on that Egyptian, quote-unquote Egyptian plane.
Oh, no way. They came in at 9:11 a.m. Hold on. Oh, man, Candace, you missed that. That's obviously a conspiracy right here. 9:11 a.m. How could you miss that, Candace? Come on.
Interesting.
You got to be sharper than that.
Very interesting as to whether or not on that Egyptian, quote-unquote Egyptian plane, there could have been foreigners that are not from Egypt. And I think that's pretty obvious that these people were not from Egypt, okay? I really don't think this was an Egyptian-filled plane. Whether or not they had Egyptian passports or Egyptian names is a whole other story.
Any evidence to corroborate that at all, Candace? Anything whatsoever? Why? Anything? Who was on board, Candace? You know who wasn't on board somehow. So who was on board? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's a little bit of a wild take. Those Egyptians on that Egyptian plane weren't Egyptian? How do you figure?
But
I'd like to know.
people at the state level print IDs, right? Of course, obviously. Jeffrey Epstein had a Saudi Arabian, totally different identification, multiple passports and different names. I am very curious about how that timeline is coming together because we were getting very close to something as we had started on September 8th, by the way, our Becoming Brigitte season 2. And we were looking at how
I get it, season 2, because there's 2 dangling.
Was that a dog was barking a bit too loud. You know, a thief that nobody was pursuing was running. And that was us discussing the MK Ultra program and Brigitte Macron, strangely, and Emmanuel mentioning MK Ultra in the lawsuit to us 18 times struck us as odd.
Did it?
As we were trying to determine whether or not it could have been Brigitte Macron that was involved in that Stanford experiment, this prisoner, 2093, that was being protected. We didn't know why this prisoner was being protected. We sent somebody there.
Is there any connection at all?
There seemed to be more. And what really terrifies me is that if my inclination that Xavier Poussard's messages have been being read and tracked
the only inkling you're worried about.
Longer than I even realized, and that's the reason they initially sent that cease and desist in December, was to ward me off sitting down with Xavier Poussard, then what we hadn't yet presented to the audience, but what we were investigating on the back end, if they were aware of that, it really makes me wonder if we were on the right track. And it was something that was so sinister, you know, involving maybe another step of the MK Ultra program.
Yeah, exactly, Mary. Exactly. I think you're a little behind. But
being used to foster serial killers and to give serial killers new identities and allowing them to run in countries. That was kind of conversations that I was having in the background with Xavier. And we thought that we had perhaps identified Brigitte Macron at Stanford University.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
Possibility is what I would say.
Proof,
we were maybe on 50%.
You know.
And then suddenly Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and it totally throws us off of the scent entirely because we're trying to figure out what happened to Charlie. And now,
you know, I'm insulted that she thinks those white flag waving, like, you know, pansies over there that don't even wipe. No offense to my French viewers. Okay. Took out one of our most, like, patriotic, bleeding heart Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's a little insulting. I think it's just a little bit insulting in my opinion. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, no, for real. Come on, like, I can't believe we're actually having this conversation. I never thought she would genuinely blame Brigitte Macron and tie this in. Of course, everything Candace is involved with is tied together somehow. It's crazy. Oh, man, Tim Kessler, thank you. Thank you so much, dude. Genuinely, man, you guys are amazing. Please like and subscribe. But seriously, thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
Strangely, trying to figure out what
I'm trying not to be too awkward about it. I don't know how to handle it.
To a France question, right? Why
the French question
on earth did France
disgusting.
move? I mean, who wants to lease a hangar in Wilmington, Delaware for 2 years to paint
something
planes?
Dirty.
Ostensibly, we're supposed to believe that this was a maintenance stop, but as the tip proved to us yesterday, that wasn't the case. That was a front because that had not been operative from 2021 all the way forward to.
Well, she said it, and then she walked it back. It wasn't actually Trump that called. It was whatever that Gusler or whatever his name was, Gisler. I forgot his name, but he's the one who called. She said Charlie told and called her first, and then it was this guy afterwards. So I mean, it's just no clue, because she implied it was Trump, and then she walked it back. So
to the end of 2024. So literally, that plane was still making stops in Wilmington, Delaware,
she was searching for that next
and
line.
There was no lease to that. And these were federally controlled waterways where that hangar is situated. And we learned that this is a building where there's cooperation between the feds, Homeland Security, and also contractors, independent contractors, which means people that are not part of our government's apparatus. So the question becomes, who was the foreign dignitary that was escorted on the day of Charlie Kirk's assassination to 920 King Street? Is it plausible that, for whatever reason,
she hasn't acknowledged that it's the same address as her attorneys? That's wild. I rarely wonder what she's going to say about that.
Allowing Tucker Carlson to hit the stage and to say that made Charlie a bigger problem than us. I have to tell you guys, in my gut of guts.
So she said that in her live stream yesterday that Trump was the one who called her. I'll pull that back up.
something
I'll definitely pull that up after this.
unbelievably. I just look at Brigitte Macron, and I am telling you, you are looking at an utter psychopath, in my view. There is something dark. There is something
I'll definitely
deep
have
there.
to pull that up. We'll have
I
to find
see it in the eyes, in the performance of this all. That the response in France has been
You
to
didn't see it in
start
the
to
other thing?
harass people
At all?
who came out and tried to tell
Just
the
the eyes?
story, to
Eyes are up
effectively
there.
ruin their lives, to go after
looking
their
the wrong way,
finances,
Candace.
to debank them. The strange circumstances of some people who have tried
Trump phone
to
call,
touch
early
this story,
2025.
and we've covered this also in our series, that wound up dead. Something is not right. And what terrifies me the most, by the way, is how far, the length that they are going through
How far the link they're going through, huh? Okay.
to protect Brigitte. Who
I'm sorry, I
the
can't
hell
help it.
is Brigitte Macron?
The wife of the Prime Minister of France. But anyway, if you wanted to know that anyway. But hey, maybe she does have a wang. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. But let's find out. Where in the world... okay, so what video did she say it in? I want to pull it up, because now she's probably done talking about that. Oh, Jay Witt's live now. Cool. You guys should go over to Jay Witt's podcast. It's this one right here. Let me... dude, he's been doing some good work. He broke that story today about the lawyer having the same address. So I think she got pranked, but we'll see. Oh, wait, it's right here. Boop. Okay, which one was it? When was this? Was it, okay, you guys said, let's try episode 131. Okay. Oh, it was that far ago? For real? 131. 208. Man, I got a ways to go here. Let's see. 148. 137. 131. We'll find out.
Guys, happy Monday.
Ooh, loud. We'll just find this real quick. Okay. Trump. Let's see. Casual brush removal here. Because Trump said you got to clean the floor. Okay. Call. Just do call. Recall. Called. Oh, wait. Wait. Picture of her. They called them. Where's the other one? Okay. It's pretty much unknown. He was economic minister who perhaps his own party called. Okay. Not that. Then started making phone calls. Okay. All right. Not implying the president yet. That's what happened, though. He had been making phone calls earlier, asking for people to meet with her regarding this investigation. Okay. Let's see. Reading this, transferred. Whatever you say, saying you can't call this a satanic. Okay, basically, tragically. Okay. And phone call in the background, and the next thing we know, we had to visit AIDS and Bibi Netanyahu. Okay, I don't think that's it. Basically. Okay, Biden administration will call up her team and scream at them and curse at them. What the heck? Okay. Documents, record those phone calls. Okay. And let someone receive. Okay, so I think it's back up at the top now, right? Nope, it's not. Phone call from Biden. So, okay. Wildfire, American financing. Okay, I don't think it's this one. I don't think it's this video. Is it? Let me see here. Epstein was upon. Okay. I don't think it was this video, unfortunately. So yeah, 131. I don't think it's this. We'll have to find out. I'll have to find out later. I'll have to do a little bit more term. Was this in February? This is January 13th. Okay. That's probably why. Let's see. So the Macrons. There was this one. Okay. So this would have been, let's see, is there anything else talking about them? Would it have we are burdened by what has been seen? Okay. I don't know. It'll be fine. I'll try and find it later on. Let's get through this.
Because it ain't Brigitte Trogneau. I can tell you that for free.
Trogneau.
Who is this person? Because power is allowing us to see how illusory it all is. They would rather...
Okay, I you know what? If that's the case, if TMZ mentioned it, I could just say, Trump warns Candace not to talk about... I'll just type it like that. I don't know how to spell her name. Candace Owens claims Trump order off August 4th, 2025. Okay. Candace Owens claims Trump warned her of specious Bridget Macron trans claim. Okay, whatever. Right-wing podcaster Candace Owens claims President Donald Trump personally called her to ask her to stop questioning the gender of Brigitte Macron, Lady of France. Okay. Let's see here. Where's the link to it? Let's see. Did they link it? Stop talking about the French lady. Do discovery and what a minute. They'll fake kill. What a minute. What are they talking about? So it's this one with her wearing this goofy outfit. Okay. I think I can find that. I think I can find that easily. I can pull it right on up and see her accusing Trump. That'd be great. We could find this pretty quickly, I think. Okay. Let's do in the 100s. Okay. I can see her shirts here. Pretty easy. You said it was 131, right? Yeah, that's right. So I just got to find what outfit she was wearing there. Okay. It's a weird, goofy, puffy outfit. Okay, I think it needs to be up here more. That's kind of a puffier one, but I don't know. It's it looks like this weird, like, oh, it looks like she's wearing a Mennonite dress. You know what I mean? That's not it, is it? No, it's not. It's more open than that. I don't see it, unfortunately. Oh, is this it? This is it, right? This looks like it.
All right, guys.
I think it's that. Is it that? No, it's not. It's not that. Okay, I don't know. Oh. Did I find it again? Yeah, oh no, it's the same one. Okay. So, unless I did... No, it was that. It was that one. That's the one I clicked on. I don't know, guys. I'll find it. I'll find it at some other point then. I give it a shot.
Brigitte,
I don't want to
even
waste
though
too
the
much
whole
time
world
on it.
no longer believes that Brigitte Macron
But
was
yeah,
born
she apparently did
a
say
female,
that.
right? But
So
they
I'll
would
add that into the
rather
video.
risk the entire thing coming undone than to just say, okay, maybe we took it too far. Let's get Macron out of office and put somebody else in there that we can control. They are taking this way too
Episode
far.
208?
The reality
8-minute mark?
is,
Oh, okay. Cool.
that these countries that have so much power and these leaders that have been in place and these systems that have been in place, and part of it is because of how much money they have and the lengths they will go through to keep things a secret. But the thing that they are forgetting is perception.
Yeah, I mean, I would understand why they would try to keep it a secret too, Candace. I definitely would. So you said it was episode 208. Okay. 204, you got a good eye there. Wait, this one? She says it? 8-minute mark?
All right, guys, happy Monday. I'm not going to name.
You're right.
And this person just, I assume, has never even watched 1 minute of my content because, I mean, if there were a guide to involving the President of the United States, I'm doing a series on my podcast. And then I just kind of get into mommy mode because it's Tuesday. My daughter's got ballet. I'm at ballet with my daughter, and I get a text message from that person that says, you need to pick up the phone. Somebody from the White House is calling you. And I say, okay, it happened so quickly. I pick up the phone, and sure enough, it is somebody at the White House that is calling me. It's not Donald Trump, but it's somebody at the White House that is calling me.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty high up, close.
Okay, in this one, she does say that it's not Donald Trump. In this, she says some... I don't know if it's the article's taking her out of context or if she does it in another video. But she clearly did change it back then, at least, to it not being Trump. This would have been 4 months ago on June 30th. She said it, and that was Charlie was still alive. So, I don't know. Maybe she just corrected the issue at that point. I don't know. I'm not going to hold it too much against her at that point, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. It's, at the end of the day, I guess it doesn't matter too much. She definitely implied Trump at the beginning of the episode. So, I don't know. But she did say it there. She said it was, this was 4 months ago before Charlie was gone, that it wasn't Trump that called her, so... I don't know. I think that deserves some benefit of the doubt, I guess.
And is 9/10 of the law, right?
Candace wanted to marry Charlie, but then Erica
do
showed
so
up.
much and to conduct so much evil.
Probably why she married that guy after
around the
17
world
days or got engaged to him.
Actually,
And then married him
didn't
8 months
believe
later.
that evil existed, right? The illusion was very important.
They had a convo. Keep watching. Oh, they did have a convo. Are you sure?
proximity to Trump.
Am I?
I'm not going to
too
name.
early?
And this person just, I assume, has never even watched 1 minute of my content because, I mean, if there were a guide to how not to approach Candace Owens when you are trying to get something done, he was just following this guide. He could not have been more pompous and more arrogant on the phone. And
Okay, so you're saying that he didn't know how to talk to you properly? Oh, that's nice, Candace. That makes you look real nice. Okay,
I would like to
great.
contextualize that I'm like pretty heavily pregnant. So like, you know, my bandwidth for BS or anybody trying to like, well, you know.
Man, she sounds like a real joy to be around. Oh my God.
And he essentially says, look, you should do it because it's the president and he's asking you to do it. What else do you want me to say? Just do it. Just stop talking about Brigitte Macron. It's astounding. Reflecting on that level of arrogance because he told you to do it. It's an order, so you should do it. And all I was thinking in my mind before I flew into, you know, a little rage was that expression, proximity to power can lead others to diluting that they wield it. You're close to power. You think you're now Trump. You're calling me, even if you were Trump, this wouldn't be the way to speak to me. And you're calling me like, that's an order from the president of the United States. So you just do it. No questions asked. Don't even think about freedom of speech. Who cares about that pesky little First Amendment? You got to just do it now. And I just basically say, look, my daughter's crying because she doesn't like when I step out of ballet, even though she can see me. She's, please, mommy, come back in. You're speaking to me inappropriately. And I just say, I don't really care I don't know who you think you're speaking to, but this is not how you're going to get anything done with me. And I just hang up the phone. I'm like, this is just not a good conversation. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Goodbye. I don't like that at all. And the third party person who had initially told him about the situation is trying to calm down, and he calls behind. He's like, no, you know, I don't know why you're spoken to like that. And like, you know, this is still really important. And you know, this really matters to the president, and he's kind of trying to talk me off the pregnancy cliff. And I'm still calm enough that I know that pregnant Candace is not always the most rational Candace and a little bit of a hothead. This particular story is to me because it involves, you know, potentially, not just potentially, like pedophilia, incest, all of these elements.
Great, Candace.
And as a mother, the idea that people this powerful that the story could be covered.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I did miss it then. It says Trump communicated something to me, so he was there when the phone call took place. And okay, wait a minute. Okay. Let me go from right here.
I go, oh, are you kidding me? You didn't tell me this yesterday? That there was some sort of a conference call?
She knew that Trump was going to call.
And President Trump is on the line. Okay. You didn't mention. I go, did you lie to me yesterday? Were you trying to pretend that it was like a third party person? And he says, no, I didn't lie to you. Like, I got a phone call, and I obviously in the background, Trump communicated something to me. So he was there when the phone call took place. And I'm going, what the heck is going on? Literally, what is happening right now? So I have the phone with him, and I just say, I just need time to process what you're saying. This is so absurd. How could this become an issue that is involving the president of the United States? I'm doing a series on my podcast. And then I just kind of get into mommy mode because it's Tuesday. My daughter's got ballet. I'm at ballet with my daughter, and I get a text message from that person that says, you need to pick up the phone. Somebody from the White House is calling you. And I say, okay, it happened so quickly. I pick up the phone, and sure enough, it is somebody at the White House that is calling me. It's not Donald Trump, but it's somebody at the White House that is calling me. That's
see, this is whenever I get to that point. So it's not somebody at the White House that's calling me, but you know, but it's Trump. Does she say? Let's go through this. Does she actually say Trump? Let's see. Here's pictures for me and Trump. Okay, Trump doing a different deal. Okay, so he's supposed to be on the phone too, but I don't know if he was or wasn't. Let's see. You're calling me even if you weren't Trump. Okay, she said that. Let's see. He is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right to the narrative. Okay, here it is. So he did call her right here.
He is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative. We're not, hey, how you doing? He just like jumps right into the narrative of exactly how this went down. I am literally, it is hard to catch my breath to comprehend that 4 days ago, I'm ending a series about Brigitte Macron, and now I'm speaking to the President of the United States. And the topic of conversation, no matter which way you want to slice it, it's about Macron's wife's penis. I mean, there's no other way to say it, right?
Okay, so y'all talked
And
about
so
that
he
for a
just
bit. How
jumps
was
right
it?
into the narrative. He's like, I'm negotiating. You wouldn't believe how many pieces this.
You wouldn't believe how small that penis is. You just wouldn't believe it, Candace. You gotta leave it alone. She lives a sad, sad life. That'd be so funny. Just let her be. She tries to swing it around. We just laugh and go, yeah, one day you'll be Mr. Mrs. President of France, maybe. But we just take pity, please. Candace, stop it.
Person wants this person.
That's how it went down, guys.
And this person wants this, and you have no idea how much is involved when you're trying to get one of these deals done.
It's so big. It's so much. We'll change the narrative here. You have no idea what you're dealing with, Candace. It's a whale.
Oh.
Anyways,
so I have Macron. I like Macron. We're speaking at the White House, and I'm walking him to his car, and he says, "Mr. President, can I speak to you for a second?" I say, "Of course you can speak to me about anything. What's going on?"
Oh yeah, Mr. President, you can speak to me about anything. I'm your Secret Service Candace agent here, reporting for duty, number 1 and number 2.
Tells me that there's Secret Service all around them. There's SUVs. They're encircled. Macron wants to have a little sidebar. And then Macron says to him, "Mr. President, do you know Candace Owens?" And I say, yes, of course I know Candace Owens. What's going on?
Do you?
And then the president says to me, you must be a very powerful person, Candace. We're talking about the president of France taking me aside to talk about your podcast.
Talk about your penis.
And then he continues his narrative and he tells me that Emmanuel Macron is requesting to his face that I stop speaking about his wife. And one of the things Trump said is like, he tells me, she's old and this is really, really impacting her. And I'm listening. I'm listening. And he's, in one of Trump monologues. He's very funny. And then he said, I saw her, Candace, I saw her up close. And
it was very close.
She looks like a woman to me. I had dinner with her at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I explained to him that she has had this amazing doctor who specializes in transgenderism surgeries or feminization procedures. I'm talking to the president of the United States about this, guys. This is crazy. This is wacky. But I'm just...
Well, what else is kind of wacky is you're talking about her winky and you don't even have proof. I mean, look, I get it. She's an unfortunate looking woman. There's nothing we can go do about that, right? But, I mean, one way or the other, I don't know. I don't think it matters at the end of the day knowing that she's got one or not, actually. These people are weirdos. Who cares? I don't care that Michelle has one, Michael. At the end of the day, I just don't care that much. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, this leads to Charlie being incapacitated. How? So it is kind of crazy, right? She's talking about this. Let's see.
Giving it as good as I get. I'm just trying to get him to understand the truth. And then I explained to him why I don't feel so great about this request, because that's the more important.
I could believe this happening for the reason that Macron's like, look, if you want this deal, maybe talk to Candace Owens about this. I don't know. She's a reporter. Just please do that or something. Get her to stop. And maybe Trump was like, whatever. If it closes a deal, fine. I'll call her. I'll give it a try. She could do whatever she wants. I'll give it a try. Maybe something like that happened. If it happened. I doubt it. I doubt this conversation took place. But I'm just saying, if it happened, I could understand maybe a reason why it happening. If Trump going, I just request this. I just want you to, maybe do this.
Important part, like you are requesting that
Trump was trying to force her.
Really, and despite your reasoning, which is very sound, that I
just saying,
stop telling the truth. And I said to Trump, and I will be honest, that at that moment I realized that one day this is going to go into my autobiography. And so I got to say something
funny. Jesus Christ, Candace, come on. Man, you're just like, people are going to be reading about me when I'm gone. And they're going to talk about how amazing I was. Holy shit, Candace, come on. You got 2 arms. You need at least one of them. Don't break them.
And I said to him, respectfully, Mr. President, it's not my fault that he married someone with a penis. He then tells me, we're really close to getting this thing done. He tells me again, Macron's been really good to me. He's been very easy to work with us. He's
just back off his wife's cock for 4 weeks. 4 weeks is all I ask. That's all. I can't do that.
Good person. He just wants me to get this one thing done. And then he throws in the art of the deal type stuff. He starts complimenting me. He said, Melania loves you. She says, you're so beautiful. She thinks you're so beautiful. I said, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Compliments will get you everywhere in life is my mentality here.
Sure.
And then I say to him, what I've agreed to already in the back of my head. I say, look, I'm happy to do this for the short. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. But I'm very clear to him that this is going to be short term, and that I fully expect that in a few months I will be able to speak about this. And this is the point of the conversation where it actually gets quite interesting, because he says yes, and then, and I am now adding to you what I sensed. Like, he was about to commit to that,
okay,
but then it felt to me like someone in the background was like, no, we need this conversation to stop altogether.
Okay.
And then he doesn't say no or yes, but he just says, that he really needs to work with Macron long term, and they have this long working relationship. And I was very clear, like, this is not long term for me. Like, if you're close to this deal, ink it, let's get it done. And then actually, Mr. President, I'm apparently good for ratings too, because you've got a leader of a country, the president of the country, asking you to ask me to do a favor.
Yeah, don't break that arm, Candace.
So then we end the conversation, and
how did the subject get changed? What happened after?
I then go and I immediately tell my husband, and I write down the details of the conversation.
Okay, so you didn't end it. Okay, that's weird. That's dodgy to me, but okay. Sure, Candace. Sure. So anyway, so she did confirm that she did talk to the president, and for some reason she's saying that didn't happen here. That is a little odd. So I'm definitely going to add that to the video tonight too. Thank you guys.
Now they are violating the illusion and just hoping that money is going to fix this. Money's not going to fix this, okay? Killing people more is actually going to catalyze the understanding that we're all having that there is something very dangerous and something deep and dark that is going on. And the themes that were in this Brigitte story are now in this Charlie Kirk story. So many people involved here having a history of child sex abuse. It's just not normal. How many times has this come up in the Charlie Kirk story? Whether you're talking about George Zinn, or the person that jumped up and screamed, or the pastors, the Calvary Chapel, that for whatever reason kept getting into these scandals that we went over the other day. That does not, to me, feel like a coincidence. So are they just so arrogant that they think that money is going to make this go away?
Oh, yeah.
You have to do the right thing.
Oh, God,
you have
Candace,
to make people believe that real justice can be served.
As if she even remotely had enough influence to sway deals between two presidents.
And right now, we are getting a sense that doesn't even seem to be a plausibility. And that things are becoming even more extreme. More money is being spent in trying to get us to invest in...
Yeah, I just played that, Art Chick. You might be a little behind.
A fiction.
On the stream.
I don't know. It just seems like it's all coming undone. And so I wanted to express that to you guys, that we should prod that narrative more. We should learn more about that company, Satis. We should see, we are receiving a bunch of tips about that company, and we are going to chase down those leads, because it's very difficult once I put that in a timeline for me to simply ignore the France angle. Obviously, France would know.
The French angle.
They should be able to just help us out. I'm sure
sounds like
they should be able to reach out to
Dictionary.
France and say, hey, you purchased this hangar. I mean, you decided to lease this hangar for 2 years, very short time, to paint some planes. Could you tell us who landed in Wilmington, Delaware, and was shuttled over?
I'm sure. I'll tell you what, Candace, I could tell you. It was definitely President Macron and his wife, and they both took lover shots at Charlie. Is that what you want to hear? Why do you think they landed in there? Why do you think they would need to be there for that? Do you understand that doesn't make sense, right? Is this, unless, the only way this could possibly make sense at all is if Charlie was assassinated without the U.S. government knowing, by a foreign government. But that would completely blow away her whole the CIA and FBI and Trump were involved. So it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, why wouldn't Trump just get his men involved only? If Trump were behind this, or if just the FBI, why wouldn't the FBI just do this by themselves? Why do they need the president of France to be there with his wife? Why would they need to be involved at all? Even if they asked for it, why would they still send a plane? It doesn't make sense. Why would any of these foreign people need to be involved whatsoever? We could handle this ourselves. In fact, it would look less suspicious if we handled it ourselves. We could have a military guy drive out there, camp in the woods. Really, really, really good shot, Get up on the roof, do his thing, run off, drive off. He would never get caught, or they'd get a fall guy at that point. You know what I mean? But we would only need our guys. That's it. We would need 2 people, maybe. Patsy and or a guy who is actually just willing to do it. They may only need one guy, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense, Candace. There's so much more of a simple way to do this. You know what I'm saying? The official narrative makes a lot more sense than what she's concocting.
9-10 king. I think that would be a good start. Anyways, we'll be right back, and I'll tell you about Brian Harple's big lie.
Oh, which one now?
Come out of a few sponsors.
Okay. Well, what lie now? Because you got busted last time lying about the FAA. You got busted lying about the FAA regulations last episode. So this probably isn't going to go well for you, Candace.
Verifiable turning point lies. It's going to look like a CVS receipt.
0-2
You know what I mean? It's just getting longer and longer, and these misrepresentations are, of course, lies.
We'll see if
so
she's
Brian
0-3 this time,
Harple
too.
obviously sat down with Sean Ryan, and he tried to explain how
White?
things went wrong and how it wasn't fair
Paula.
and woe is them, millions of dollars that we received. But this is actually the fault of UVU police, right? It's actually the fault of this Chief Long. Now, I had a lead on this for a few weeks from within Turning Point USA. Many people obviously leaking within the organization, but I wanted something a bit more solid. Like, they were telling me that they knew for certain that the security did some abnormal things that day. Personally, unless I am certain as it pertains to Turning Point USA, I try not to speak on it. But as it turns out, security people are getting fired or getting moved around at Turning Point, and people's families are getting threatened. And so people in the security apparatus are starting to speak. And now we are certain. So foremost, jog your memory of what he said, what Brian Harple said to Sean Ryan. He describes a communication that, and he says it in a very odd way. I can tell you right now, the reason why he describes this communication with the chief of the UVU police in an odd way is because it's not his communication. He's actually presenting a text message between Dan Flood and Chief Long. Take a listen to how he says it.
Okay, how does he say it?
On Monday before, this correspondence went to Chief Long. Hello, Chief Long. We received this message today from the student group. There is a student roof access pretty close to where CK will be set up at the Utah Valley. The Sorensen Center has a couple of staircases that go up to walkways on the roofs. He comes back, and for edification, the Sorensen Center was the building in front of the Lucy Center. And so he comes back and he says, you want access to the roof. And came back and said, I was told students have access above us. If this is true, it would be nice to either have it controlled access or allow one of my guys to be there as well, if possible. He comes back, and his last correspondence was,
okay,
I got you covered.
Okay. How's this a lie?
What else am I to do?
Did the police come out and make a statement?
When a command level person from an accredited police department says, I've got this area. Jeez.
Okay.
Oh, pick me. So okay. I could confirm to you guys that something else that they could have done would have been to at least walk around UVU when they arrived. They did.
Are they allowed to, though, Candace? Like, they have people in certain areas. Maybe UVU was just like, okay, you guys over here. I don't know. Don't you think UVU maybe had somebody in on the inside with this Trantifa group that maybe kind of pulled some strings on this? I mean, literally. Like, why is that impossible? I don't understand why one group is more likely than another, Candace. I really genuinely don't. How could it, like, okay, it could be Zionists that did it. Okay, it could have been the French that did it, or the Egyptians. Maybe it could have been Trantifa. I don't know. Why can it not be Trantifa, but it has to be everyone else? Can anybody at all explain that to me? Maybe. By the way, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here. You all are amazing. Every one of you guys, just absolutely amazing. Seriously. Thank you all so much.
Never did a walkthrough. And I can also tell you
I bet they are
that this is a severe misrepresentation because the reason why he says Sorensen, and obviously many people picked up on this, like Lozzi is supposedly where the student got up on the roof, so why would Sorensen even matter? Well, apparently, and again, I confirmed this with security inside of Turning Point. There somehow happened to be a leak, and so they can't dispute this. But actually, Dan Flood was primarily and only concerned with the flag of halls, which is behind. That's what was behind Charlie. So I'm going to actually show you this, what they're referring to, and why he says Sorensen. I don't know if your mouse can move here. I don't know if you're able to do that. It's okay if you can't. But you can see up there on the right where it says Sorensen Student Center.
Is she talking to the viewer, or is she talking to the guy that, like, one of her people working with her?
Well, there is a way, as you can see, to get down and get across to the walkway. And that's what they wanted to secure. They wanted to secure and to make sure that nobody had access above Charlie's head. And that's why he says the walkway.
So this right here, I don't see a walkway per se. I don't know exactly. I don't see where this is. You could have marked on your anywhere on here. You could have put something on here to really show us this. So I don't know what you're talking about, Candace.
He knew that, by the way. Obviously, he knew the context of that. It's very strange that he's reading that off of his phone as if it's on his phone and he had the communication. That's fundamentally dishonest. He should have said, this text message happened between Dan Flood and Jeff Long, and here's what it was pertaining to. Or
who cares? Who cares who it was from, Candace? Like, does that change anything at all? Oh, it was from Dan. It wasn't from him. Okay, wow. That really changed it for me, Candace. That really changed everything. So
he should have showed more, but he couldn't show more.
Who cares?
And, Sean Ryan got played.
You mean kind of like what you did?
He did, and he should be upset that he got played because they're basically using him to just propagandize the situation.
Didn't she literally do that with the text message of Charlie Kirk claiming that he may leave the Israeli cause? Didn't she kind of do that? Didn't she do that? She wasn't able to show more. She was totally fine with that. So what's wrong with this one? Why is it okay when you get leaks that are in your favor? But this one right here, it's no different. It's absolutely no different in any way, shape, or form. So why is that better?
Pretend that they're somehow the victims. Something else that is very strange that I was told early on when all of these leaks were coming is that not only did Turning Point not walk the campus when they got there, I'm referring to the security, but also the only thing that Dan Flood apparently cared about was making sure that their SUVs had clear access behind Charlie, in and out access. So they were not concerned about any other rooftops. They were not concerned about walking to make sure that they had access to other rooftops, obviously, or to make sure that they could see what points it was that the people could just walk onto the courtyard. They weren't concerned any of that. All they cared about, for whatever reason, was the flag of halls, controlled access in the flag of halls. And I'm wondering if that reason is because, this is really interesting, but I told you, it's kind of strange that there were only 2 videos of people really that saw the alleged shooter on the roof that sprinted off of Losi. I found that to be quite strange. There were a lot of people there that day. There was a lot of action that was caught. There wasn't even any more testimonies that came out. And when we hunted down the origin of those videos, I found it strange that those students who shot it didn't post it themselves. They went through third-party people, fourth-party people. One person, both of them, jumped through multiple hoops to get that video out.
How do you know this?
And when we tracked those people down, both of those students or non-students were in the military, right? ROTC. I found that to be very interesting.
They were in ROTC. They recruited the freaking high school kids. Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously. They recruited the high school kids to go do it. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, they're in the military. They're in ROTC. What the hell are you smoking, Candace? Are you serious? You think they're going to trust them with that? They're going to keep their mouths shut? For real? These are the new special ops people? People who aren't even quite in the military yet? That is amazing.
Compelling. And I am wanting to know more about what was happening in that Hall of Flags. Something is off here. There seemed to be a lot of buzz about the Hall of Flags. Even that Indian kid that we had showed you was taking that shot, who said, like, oh, I didn't know Charlie, but he was really popular, was posting all of these videos and somehow gave his videos to the news. He was in the Flag of Halls, or the Hall of Flags, pardon me.
The Flag of Halls.
I think more needs to be known about what was going down in the Hall of Flags, and I intend to find out what that was. But
I had no idea that Bridget McCrone had a bunch of ROTC kids out here to stop Charlie Kirk. Is that the narrative we're going with here? Really? So, Bridget McCrone, let me get this straight now. So, Bridget McCrone recruited a bunch of ROTC kids to take videos of what was going to happen to Charlie Kirk, to post it online under fourth-party accounts. This sounds completely insane, Candace. You do understand that, right? I hope that she understands this. That is wild.
Turning Point's security completely dropped the ball. And they knew they dropped the ball. And yet they then tried to pass that off by misrepresenting text messages. Why? Why is he protecting Dan Flood? Why isn't Dan Flood speaking? Has Dan Flood been fired from Turning Point USA?
I don't know.
Is this actually just a propagandist mission to sit down with Sean Ryan and to lie and misrepresent?
Okay.
Everybody's instincts were correct about that interview. We are still being told lies by Turning Point. Now, beyond that, this is crazy. This broke in Utah. So the story goes, and I told you that the story was BS, but what the feds told us was that, you know, grandpa's gun was missing, and then a friend called, and the dad, Tyler Robinson's dad, recognized his own son and then turned his son in. And I told you that was a lie. That's not how things went down.
You did tell us that. And you also didn't provide any evidence whatsoever. Good Lord, most Samuel L. Jackson face I've seen today.
Called the liar, and no one believed that I had sources. Well, now, mysteriously, the footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself in, which should, in theory, show his dad and him walking in. His dad turned him in. Remember that storyline?
Okay.
Well, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to be able to get that footage because it's now missing, ? Take a listen.
I don't know. I have no idea if it's missing or not.
Listen to KUTV News investigating.
On September 17th, 2025, Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby held a press conference.
Our job was not to interview, our job was just to get him here.
After Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter was taken into custody in Washington County less than 2 days after the shooting.
Within the hour, my friend drove Tyler and his parents to my office, where he was greeted by plainclothes detectives.
After learning of this, I submitted a public records request to obtain any video of Tyler Robinson walking into the jail facility. Washington County responded, saying there were no records responsive to the request, as Robinson did not go to the jail area. Our request for any holding room video was denied. A few weeks later, I re-upped the request on a more generalized scale for surveillance video showing Tyler Robinson walking into the sheriff's office.
For the state of Utah, we would certainly hope that this video is available.
The response? Our office does not have any applicable records responsive to this request, as the surveillance footage is no longer available after the 30-day retention period.
If, in fact, it has been destroyed and not preserved, it's very concerning.
That's
and
strange.
If it has,
I have no idea, though. Why would they be holding this back? Is this something that may be presented in trial? Are these the lawyers requesting this, or was this just the news team requesting this? Maybe it's affected by the gag order per se, but maybe not. Maybe they're like, hey, we can't give this to you. And maybe their way of doing it is saying, oh, we don't have it. You know? I have no idea, to be honest. That doesn't sound like they should be saying that. They should say, we are under gag order and cannot respond with this. Thank you for understanding. Maybe something along those lines, but I just don't know. I have no idea. So.
Then it's very concerning that they're telling you they don't have it. If they no longer have it, I would have expected to say that this video has been provided to the Utah County law enforcement. Please contact them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Charlie.
But instead, this letter leads, in my opinion, as trying to shut the door and not give you free access to the press.
While it's not clear if the video exists and was just handed over to another agency, in a response to me, Washington County shared with me they don't believe the video was shared with anyone involved in the case.
Wanting to get videos showing that he turned himself in and the manner he did so.
That sounds like the police screwing up then. That sounds like actually that county just screwing up. Because if they didn't even turn it over to the FBI, that's kind of on them, right? So I don't know. This, that sounds very suspicious. It sounds like the city may have dropped the ball on that one, but I don't know that that's necessarily nefarious. She's going to have to prove that.
For the defense work of mitigation.
You know?
I don't know, guys. We just can't get one verifiable piece of evidence that Tyler Robinson even exists.
So why does any evidence have to be provided to you? Because you espouse a bunch of nonsense without ever providing any evidence either. But you're going to hold them to that standard, Candace? That doesn't sound very fair. You have made so many claims. TPUSA did this. They're definitely engaged in a cover-up without providing any proof whatsoever. But you want them to provide proof to you. It's kind of weird how you walk this one-way street. I don't like it.
I think it's a fair question. Is he just an AI app? Does Tyler Robinson even exist at this point? Feels like a fair question. Because we can't get one clear image, and now, which good on them for realizing, oh wait, actually we can put in a gamma request and figure out whether we can just watch him turn himself in. That's a big part of the story. Heroic dad marches his son in.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have just done
that.
that. They wouldn't have at least done that. You think, Candace? You don't think that the FBI would be like, oh well, surely, we'd probably want that footage of him being questioned and stuff because they record all of that. You think they don't know that? You think that that didn't come up once, Candace, that they were like, hey, yeah, police like to interview people who ended up committing murders. We probably ought to do like a staged like confession or something in there. You really think that they wouldn't have thought of that? I don't know. Pretty much what she's saying is whoever did this to Charlie was just so absolutely incompetent that I don't even necessarily believe it could have been our government at this point. They're too stupid. Our government's definitely smarter than that, Candace. They got away with so much. Are you kidding? You're really, like, testing the credibility of how dumb our government is. I don't know. It's kind of wild, right?
I told you that was all crap. So what actually happened? What actually happened?
That's a good question, Candace. What did happen? You seem to have all the answers.
He also can't appear in person. He's appearing electronically. Doesn't have to put his video on for court hearings. What is going on? How dare they call anything that we are covering a conspiracy theory? The conspiracy theory,
Man.
I tell you what it is right now. I don't want you guys to be conspiracy theorists. The conspiracy theory
this one's a tough one.
Is that Tyler Robinson, who did not attend UVU, had never been on UVU campus, packed up his car that day, jumped onto a rooftop, figured out how to like jump around like Spider-Man, and just knew exactly where Charlie Kirk would be seated.
What are you talking about? He jumped around like Spider-Man. He had roof access. What are you talking about? Why would you even say that?
Having never been there, took one shot with 30-06 that got stopped because Charlie eats spinach.
No, it's stopped probably because they used a varmint bullet. They probably used a 30-06 varmint bullet. You know what I mean? Doesn't go through 16-pound dogs. That's probably why. That's probably what it was. Lower grain round. Shatter point tips or whatever they are. Fragmentable tips, whatever. They probably splintered in him, just like it said, because that's what those bullets are designed to do. I don't know. Crazy, right?
And then he swallowed it, actually, because it actually ricocheted down into his stomach. He then makes a hasty retreat into a Dairy Queen where he texts every minute of what he did to his lover. And then despite going home to his lover, he decides the next day to still text his lover more about his dad. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, he's home, but they're still texting more because, like, that's what you should do as opposed to just talking to him face to face.
Yeah, I'm sure that, him being on the run had nothing to do with the Candace at all. Yeah, I think you forgot, but he was, like, hiding out for a while. I don't know that he went home.
And he wanted to get away with it, and he expresses that, but at the same time, despite the fact that he's got, like, a 4.3 GPA, and he's, like, a boy genius, he just decides to write every minute of the crime that he had just committed to his love. That's actually the conspiracy theory. Like, that's the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. I don't want you guys to believe that. That's crazy. That is totally crazy
That's
stuff.
a conspiracy theory. They showed proof. You haven't showed any proof, but they showed proof. But that's the tin hat. Yeah, you're right, Candace. That's just so crazy, That's the one. Don't believe that at all, guys. At all, by any means. Why? Because I just feel like it. Okay, Candace. Great argument. Good job.
Anyways, we'll be right back and respond to some of your questions and comments.
Oh, finally, it's over. This was actually a very much longer video. Wow. I don't know how I'm going to condense all this down into a video for tomorrow morning, but, yeah, MLK was shot by a 30-06. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, Yeah, it's just crazy. Apparently can't walk on the roof. Yeah. Man, people are insane. Absolutely insane. So anyway, I'm going to, let's see here. I'm just wondering, why would they need to see a video of him entering the sheriff's office? I don't know. It's not really that important. It doesn't change anything. It's just silly. But anyway, as I started from the beginning, just to refresh here, Candace Owens, she was complaining about copyright claims from Orchid Music Company here because she's blaming Kash Patel's wife for copyright striking her. I then proved to Candace, I'm like, well, actually, you did this to me. This was on your thing. It was a 50-minute live stream. And I got copyright claimed here for Kanye West. Thank you, $sign for Candace Owens. That song played for 4 seconds. So I got to take the whole thing. I had to clip it out. And she's like all upset that she has to clip hers out. But guess who owns the company that copyright struck her? Because she's saying, oh, well, this is his wife, Alexis Wilkins. But the Orchid Music Company is owned by Sony Music Entertainment. It's not her. So good job, Candace. Very much good job. Then we found out that the address, Jay Witt here. Go to his thing here. I'll shout him out one more time here if you guys want to go over there and subscribe to him. If you guys don't know who he is, he shouted me out, and he's been doing really, really good work. Absolutely appreciate him. He broke the news here today that it is the exact same address as her attorneys, that she uses, her lawyers, that proved that, these companies were working all in Wilmington, Delaware. All of these agencies, CIA, FBI, all these people. Turns out the address, they all share the same address. It's kind of weird. Kind of strange. It is very, very, very weird. And then Candace is talking about also, the lawsuit. How she's, trying to get it in Tennessee. Yet, she is actually operating out of Delaware. She's like, what's in Delaware? Why are they suing me in Delaware? The Macrones. Why is that happening? Well, because your Candace Owens LLC is incorporated in Delaware. You did that. You wanted those tax breaks. So you chose Delaware. Now you're upset that they're suing you in Delaware where your company is? It just makes sense for them to sue you there. That's where your company is. They got defamed by your company, quote unquote. I'm not saying they actually got defamed per se, but if true, got defamed by her company, which is ran out of Delaware. Pretty normal. So yeah, it's this whole video is a mess. This whole thing. She gets proven wrong so many times. She says that Trump ended up telling her to drop the Macron story, and now she's changed it to it wasn't Trump. Kind of wild. This whole thing is wild. Oh, man, what a day. Man, you guys are amazing, though. Seriously, you guys made my day. Oh, my God, you guys have made my day. Absolutely amazing. Thank you all again to the people who have super chatted. Seriously, just absolutely, absolutely wonderful. Seriously, thank you guys so much. That's Curtis, James, Wicked, Lila, Tim Kessler there. Thank you guys so much. Thank everybody else for coming here. Every single person. Thank you all so much for being here. 1,600 people today in this live stream. That is wild numbers for me. Wild numbers. You all are amazing. Seriously. 135 people in here still just right now. I mean, man. Oh, thank you, Ashley. You are awesome. Static, you too. Stupidity, lying, and all that. Yeah. It's probably all of it to be honest. So I can't do lives every single night. I do them Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't think I'll be live this Saturday because my brother-in-law's coming down and we're doing Thanksgiving and stuff, and that's really just time for family. So I probably won't be doing anything Saturday. If I do anything Saturday, it'll be the live stream. If not, well, I don't know. It'll either be just the live stream by itself or a couple of videos, but it won't be both for Saturday if I do anything. Worst case scenario, I won't be active at all Saturday, and, it just is what it is. Yeah, but that's this Saturday. And then next Thursday on Thanksgiving, I probably won't be on here at all either. Because, Thanksgiving. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I may make things work. You guys will know beforehand. She didn't say it wasn't Trump. She just said Charlie texted her about it first. Don't believe her. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. It's definitely very interesting. Yeah, it's all very, very strange. She's claiming all this crap. Now Bridget Macron is linked to Charlie Kirk's murder. I mean, for the love of God, this is insane. I really genuinely feel like she is trying to take away from something, that she's trying to distract. That's just how I feel about it. Not even kidding. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, the reason why I can't do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because my wife works, comes home, you know, and then I work afterwards, but our kids aren't in daycare, so I watch my kids all day long. Then I work all night long to complete my task as a contractor. And over there at the certain factory, I just don't want to name them. You know what kind of trouble comes. I'm starting to get a little bit more seen on YouTube. And if people find out where I work, I know they're going to start getting calls. People are like that. So I'm just not going to tell anybody where it is I work. Just is what it is. I've been careful like that the entire time. I've dropped, like past places that I know I'm not going back to. So there is that. But, I'm not mentioning it here. But anyway, long story short, I work and my wife works on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I just don't have time to do this at all. But with the help of you guys, that may change. Maybe I would absolutely love to not only make this my full-time job, but also make it to where my wife doesn't have to work at all anymore. She could homeschool the kids, stay home with the kids. That would be the dream. I think she just wanted to start like an herbal company too. So maybe that could happen. And hey, start an herbal company. Sponsors, I sponsor it. Be a pretty easy thing to work. But that's way in the future. I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon or not. But that would be the dream. You know what I mean? And you guys have made me that much closer to it, so I'm very grateful. That's why I just ask for a subscribe and a like. Because I know at the end of the day, I get enough subscribes, I get enough likes, everything will fall into place. You know what I mean? I don't have to ask for anything. All these YouTubers out here that are so freaking greedy, asking for you guys to do every single possible thing, you know what I mean? Like, oh, please donate, please become a member, please go to my website over here on Patreon, please do all this and that and this and that. And I'm just like, y'all need to do that much? Like, some people do, and some people do it well. Because some people have some, like, Patreon stuff, like Aether Realm's a great example. Love that band. They got a Patreon because you have access to special merchandise that they make and stuff. And they sometimes send you free stuff, and they just have behind the scenes, and it's like, okay, I get that, But man, when I see like all these like extra things that are just unnecessary, like people just going, oh, here's memberships, but I'm not going to offer you anything in return. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah. I don't know. Ashley, you're a graphic designer and video editor and would be more than happy to help support your channel by volunteering time. Man, I appreciate that. I would like to... Oh, man, I don't know. I feel guilty asking people to do free stuff for me. So it's like one of those things that if people do it, I'm not going to say no because I would like to put you out there and be like, hey, look at what this awesome person did. Please go follow them. That's one thing. That's like an exchange of services that I could offer. Or I would like to just wait until I actually make money from this channel and then I could pay people. Because, that's how I'd really like to do it. People deserve to make a living. And I don't like to just ask for people's time for free. Unless they're actually going to get something for it. You know what I mean? Ask for coffee. Yeah, I mean, I may be able to partner up with maybe Jeremy or something. Maybe I should start doing ads. I could start doing Coffee Brand Coffee ads. I would try to make them super short. They're like 30-second ads. You know what I mean? And because everybody knows what it is, I'll be like, hey, this is delicious coffee. I absolutely love his chai tea. Oh my God, that stuff's good. I get that stuff all of the time. So I could do that, make a little ad. And then one day maybe partner up with him and have him do a jasmine tea. Because jasmine's my favorite and he doesn't have one. I could find my way in there. I would absolutely love to have my own brand of jasmine. Not brand, but my own name on a thing of jasmine tea. You know what I mean? Just be so cool. I would love it. I'm a big jasmine tea fan. So, there's that. But I don't know. It's up to you guys too. I'm going to take your guys' input serious. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys don't want me to do a certain ad, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I don't care about the money. If you guys are like, absolutely no, Raid Shadow Legends, maybe you guys would like that. I don't know if you would or wouldn't. But if you're like, no, none of that, none of the fume, none of that stuff, I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, totally. Not going to take it. The money's not worth it. Not at the end of the day. Especially if I have 100,000 subs, it's like, dude, I already know I'll be making good money at that point. Don't need to go and milk it even more, Oh, come on, boy. I know you want outside so bad. I know. I'll take you out. This is our time. It's raining outside, though. I can't throw your bone. It's muddy. Absolutely not. Cannot do it. I can't do it. I know. Okay. Gosh, he's really impatient, guys. I'm gonna have to take him out. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to end this stream. He's had enough. He's like, no, it's time. We go outside. This is the time we go out back and I hang out with him. Yes, I know. Stop whining. Man, you are so bossy. You are so bossy and impatient. You are impatient. Hey, careful. Don't step on the keyboard. You're impatient. You're impatient. Oh, silly dog. Anyway, thank you all so much. Alrighty, I got to help get the kids down to bed, and I got to take this boy out or he's going to have a conniption. Thank you all so much for coming here. Thank you guys for everything you all have been doing. Genuinely, I am so thankful for you all. Just amazing. You guys are awesome. Here, and yeah, I'll be live streaming tomorrow, 5 p.m. as well. So don't worry, I'll be here this time tomorrow. And yeah, new videos coming in soon. Thank you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.